1600s, civil war broke out across the kingdoms of England, Ireland and Scotland. It ended when Oliver Cromwell defeated the Royalists and established the Commonwealth of England, with him in charge, of course. During the war, some of the Royalists escaped to Ireland, with the aim of teaming up with the local Catholics and taking control of the island of Ireland. Cromwell called them the rebels, and he was determined to wipe them out.
It's the scene of Oliver Cromwell's most famous crime.
Right.
We're going up the hill here.
It's the inciting incident, if this was a movie.
Oh yeah,
Cromwell is the inciting incident that sets the entire drama in motion.
In Ireland, he's the C word.
Right, okay.
You know.
The English Civil War wasn't just a victory for Cromwell's Parliament. It was about Protestantism beating Catholicism. So when Cromwell decided to crush the rebels in Ireland, it was the start of sectarianism in earnest. He turned up with his new model army, 22,000 Puritans and Protestants, just like Cromwell himself. They were itching to thrash any Catholics who got in their way.
It's safe to say we hate him. If you've got a spectrum of hatred and love of Englishmen, you've got Oliver Cromwell, hated, all the way to the other end, Jackie Charlton.
Okay.
Yeah? He's, you know what I mean? He's the
anti-Charlton.
He's the anti Jackie Charlton.
Okay.
That's him.
Cromwell's first port of call was the town of Drogheda, easy to access because of the river, and where a large garrison of rebel forces was stationed. I've read a lot about Cromwell in Ireland, and some of it can seem simply incredible, exaggerated, but historian Brendan Harris has studied the documents to try and establish the truth.
Hello. How you doing? How are you?
So, Oliver Cromwell, the most hated man in Irish history, does he deserve to be this figure of loathing?
Okay, in the main, the answer is yes. He didn't seem to have too much time for perhaps the Catholic faith and those of the clergy. He also had no time whatsoever for what he termed as the rebel forces.
Is it true that Arthur Ashton, who was the head of the forces within Drogheda during the siege, was beaten to death with his own wooden leg?
That is a fact. And when they came in, they believed that he had his gold hidden within this wooden leg. They chased Arthur Aston and his men to the exact spot where we are now standing. They put him to death. But of the belief that his limb was carrying the gold, they did take the limb from him. That's in letters from back to Parliament.
Cromwell's conquest of Ireland is known locally as the Malach Cromwell, or the Curse of Cromwell. And although there's no consensus on the figures, it's estimated over 200,000 died, and around 50,000 were deported for forced labour. The babies being used as human shields, those I mean, really horrendous images. That's propaganda, is it?
Using children as shields, human shields. There's very little credence in documented evidence that actually took place. What did take place, though, was that the retreat to St. Peter's Church of Ireland, the Protestant church, and Cromwell did come and he said, give them no escape, you know, fire the tower. One particular soldier shouts out from the windows of the town, God damn you, I burned. I do believe that more happened than maybe is even recorded, and that he did perhaps wipe out villages on his way and the soldiers didn't give a damn, and it is easy to look at that it was the period that they lived in.
I still think he's a total... He's a religious fanatic who is employed an army of mercenaries and allowed them basically do whatever they want.
That means he's from that time. Everyone was like that. And if the battle had gone the other way, or the Civil War had gone the other way, then we'd be talking everything this bit in reverse.
Yeah, but that's the Jimmy Savile argument.
It is. Oh, that's how it was back in the day. No, I'm
No,
not like that. That's not what I'm saying.
He was a wrong un. The reason why he's still reviled in Ireland is because the effect of his bad lasted hundreds of years.
But I'd say it's a long time ago.
From that point came in English common law, and what went out the window at that particular point in the 1650s was the likes of the older Irish Brehon law.
In the exact same way that William the Conqueror annihilated Anglo-Saxon England and turned it into Norman. So, I mean, that's why he's remembered.
Well, we haven't forgotten William the Conqueror in England.
Yeah, well,
that's a good point.
You know, if you just shown up and been a total, you know, and then fought some other English, you know, that's a stag do. You know what I mean?
It's the end of the Civil War. It's unfinished business from the Civil War. It's the parliamentarians dealing with the royalists.
and whoever's allied themselves with the Royalists in what England saw as its backyard in Ireland. So if you contextualise it like that, it's just another part of that 10-year conflict. But if you look at it from an Irish perspective, and especially an Irish perspective that's looking to define itself against the English as the oppressor, it's a total outrage of the worst kind, and he is the worst person imaginable.